underway at the D Event Center with the Louisville Cardinals in white, the Bradley Braves in red. And the first shot comes from Louisville, and it is a little bit of an air ball brought down by the Bradley Braves. Donald Powell. Les sets up quickly for Bradley. He is the key guy on the backcourt. Jim Les, number 15, had an impressive game in the opener over Texas El Paso. Les in that ball game with 22 points to lead the way. From outside, Bradley gets on the board. That is Trimpe. Trevor Trimpe, a sophomore from Havana, Illinois. Purvis Ellison ties it for the Cardinals.
Even though Bradley will play a zone, you'll still see Louisville going deep, and Ellison and Thompson can be effective against the shorter Braves, I think.
The last time Bradley beat the Louisville Cardinals was in 1975, and the point guard in that game was Jim Les's brother Tom, and Tom is at the game watching his little brother today. This is Les inside to their big man Williams. That won't drop. Rebound by Les. Good anticipation. He's a very heady player. From the corner, Percy Hawkins, number 33, the sophomore from Chicago. Bradley 4-2. Cardinals set it up. Milt Wagner, their senior guard from Camden High School in Camden, New Jersey. Outside of the big man, Billy Thompson.
Bradley likes to really pack in the zone. Louisville is a good outside shooting team, so they should be popping some of those shots. Wagner and Hall in particular, the two men exchanging passes. They'll look for the shots.
On the near side, Crook won't go. Rebounded by Trimpe. Both these teams like to run, but we've seen half-court offenses in the early going. Trimpe inside. Powell, Donald Powell, the sophomore from Nowata, Oklahoma. 6'2" Bradley.
You can see it's like a 3-2 or a 2-1-2 zone, whatever. They set up very tight to the basket. And Louisville, I think, would prefer to attack a man-to-man defense.
That is Thompson. 6'7", 195-pounder from Camden, New Jersey. He's a senior. Loose ball at midcourt, recovered by the Braves.
Very rare to see Jim Les lose the ball. Louisville will press. I did not think it would be a factor, but they knocked it loose first time.
Percy Hawkins underneath Williams, and it's blocked by Ellison. Wagner, he's got it, and the first foul of the game. Chance for the three-point play.
Ellison, of course, a good shot blocker, but here's the experience of a fifth-year senior. He's been in the tournament. He handled this fast break so well. A lot of players would have gone to the basket with a wild shot. He just patiently worked his way in for a little 4 or 5 foot banker.
Foul is on Trevor Trimpe. Wagner at the line. Scramble for the rebound. The Braves come up with it. Trimpe feeding Les. Les will set it up for the Braves. Jim Les shoots 48%, 76 from the free throw line. 5'11", 175-pound senior. 269 assists on the season. Donald Powell, and that was blocked, but Hersey recovers. He can't get it up. And the Cardinals come away with it. Hall for Wagner. Les steals, and Les brings it down court. Hawkins in the corner. Les for Powell, and a little bit high, but the foul comes underneath from Herbert Crook, number 41 of the Cardinals.
What I've noticed so far in the game that is Bradley appears to be a much quicker team than Louisville. Louisville certainly has the height and the strength and the finesse and talent, but sometimes quickness can overcome all of those things, and Bradley seems to have that. If you've not watched Jim Les, the young man handling the ball, I think you'll enjoy him. Most valuable player in the Missouri Valley this year. He can really pass.
Another foul underneath is Williams taking the feed from Les. And it'll be on Ellison. There is Coach Dick Versace in his 8th year at Bradley, one of the more colorful coaches around the nation from the University of Wisconsin. Talkative, confident, and happy to be playing on television. He says, we want to play one of those TV teams. So today's his opportunity against Louisville, a qualified TV team for sure.
Dick Versace is kind of the upstart here in the tournament. The other coaches, of course, are veterans. Denny Crum for Louisville in our second game. Dean Smith for North Carolina. Gene Bartow for UAB. They've all been here before.
7-6 Bradley. Louisville ball, but a steal again by the Braves. And Les will bring it up court. Trimpe grabbed the loose ball. Hawkins. Percy Hawkins.
That's the biggest problem that Denny Crum has right now, is trying to prevent needless turnovers. His team still commits them.
Well, we'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching Duke and Old Dominion, where Duke did a job on Old Dominion 89-61, with Dawkins leading the way 25 points in that game. Here at Ogden, Utah, on the campus of Weber State College, Bradley leads Louisville 9-8 as we are just underway in the first half. 15:51 to go. Tim Ryan with Lynn Shackelford bringing you the action on our NCAA coverage on CBS Sports. A full day of NCAA competition. This is the second round game in the West region. Louisville in white, Bradley in red. And that is Crook off the front iron, and the rebound by Trimpe.
Crook seems to be taking more shots than I think Louisville would like. They would rather see other players, Hall, Wagner, or Thompson, take the shots.
1 point margin for Bradley. The real quarterback out there is Jim Les, number 15, off to Trimpe now. Williams underneath, showing his agility, the big man. 6'8", 255-pounder from Chicago.
There's Hall taking the outside shot. He should be taking it along with Wagner. As you can see, the zone was just packed in so deep. That outside shot is available.
Jeff Hall brings the Cardinals back to within one. Senior from Ashland, Kentucky, but Howell the other way for the Bradley Braves. They don't give you much time to get organized on defense. They like to run.
Well, the Louisville press is not going to be a factor. In fact, Denny Crum may be wondering if he should maybe just call it off altogether.
6 points for Hersey Hawkins of the Bradley Braves.
3-second call on Purvis Ellison underneath. Dick Versace has got to be somewhat pleased at this stage of the game. His team has got
the year, and they are a team that feels that they maybe are the team of destiny, at least in the West region. We'll find out as we continue here with 14-13 remaining in the first half.
That's got to be a technical, grabbing the rim. It is.
Everybody was on the iron there. I think it was Ellison who grabbed the rim.
Yeah, I'm just glad the whole thing didn't come down. He really had a pretty good grip on it.
Purvis Ellison, listed at 6'9", plays more like 7 feet. The freshman from Savannah, Georgia, one of the outstanding freshmen in the country, shooting at 55% from the field. He was the MVP in the Metro Tourney. And on the technical, it is Jim Les, making it 14-10 for the Bradley Braves. Bradley ball. Les, the senior guard from Niles, Illinois, out of Notre Dame High School in Niles. And as we look elsewhere, we see that Kansas over Temple, 65-43, final. And LSU with an upset over Memphis State, 83-81 at the buzzer. And that was after LSU had disposed of Purdue, a team seated higher than them in the East and in the Southeast Regional. So LSU scoring 2 victories at home to move into the next round. Bradley in red. Les brings him down court. Hawkins from the corner. That's his spot. Hersey Hawkins.
Yeah, he's their leading scorer, 18.5 points a game. I think a statistic that's got a big part in this game right now is rebounds. Bradley has 7. Louisville only has 2 rebounds in the contest. That is what Denny Crum wants his team to do, is get on those offensive boards.
Tip in by Tony Kimbrough, came into the game in the last break. He's a freshman from Louisville, 6'7", 190, number 44. 16-12, Bradley in front by 4. 13:09 to play first half. Trimpe, near steal by Kimbrough. Good control by Trimpe.
He likes to take the shot when he's set. He thought about it.
This is Hawkins. The big man, Williams, off for Les, and Les off the front iron. Rebound, Louisville, taken by Thompson. This is Hall. Nowhere to go along the baseline. Williams cut him off. Thompson, he's got it. Billy Thompson.
He makes it look easy, and he can get his shot off inside pretty easily as well.
Bradley by 2. Thompson had 24 points against Drexel. Michigan State over Georgetown 80-68 earlier today. Skiles with a big game. Scott Skiles for the winning Spartans. Williams all alone at the foul line, but he misses. Then Ellison comes down with it. Hall will bring it up court for the Cardinals. Chance to tie for Louisville. Wagner batted away by Trimpe, but he recovers. Milt Wagner, the senior guard from Camden High in Camden, New Jersey. This is Hall. Trimpe, good coverage on him. Bradley by 2. We're in the first half.
Down to 13 on the shot clock.
Ellison, he's short. Ellison again, and the freshman hits. We have a tie game with 11:30 remaining in the first half. Jim Les directing traffic. He'll call the offenses when he comes over the timeline. Good communication with his coach, Dick Versace, on the defenses.
Louisville, as always, almost always, in a man-to-man defense.
Traffic down the lane as Powell going to the hoop.
Louisville, number 10, Mark McSwain.
McSwain coming in for Louisville, and the foul, I believe, will be on Hall, number 42. And Ellison gets a rest with McSwain in the game. Mark McSwain, 6'7", 220-pound junior from Atlanta. Powell to the line for Bradley. There's Dick Versace. Powell on his second try. Hawkins with a rebound. Les calls out the offense as they have a chance to move ahead by 3 again. Hawkins driving. Won't go. Rebound by McSwain. Wagner for the Cardinals. Inside. Rebound by Thompson, but it's stolen away by Les. It'll be Louisville ball as he was on the baseline. Cardinals will inbound it with Bradley in front by a point. We'd like to welcome you, those of you who have been watching Kansas and Temple. Kansas the winner there. And we are in Ogden, Utah, where the Cardinals of Louisville have just moved ahead of Bradley for the first time by a point. 18-17, 10-12 remaining in the first half at Weber State College. Tim Ryan with Lynn Shackelford bringing you the action here in this second round game of the West Region. Bradley in red, Louisville in white. And this is Powell. Can't get it over Big Billy Thompson of the Cardinals, and Wagner the other way for Hall. And it's poked away from him by Jim Les. And Les trying to keep Bradley possession, but he knocked it out of bounds, and it'll be Louisville ball with a timeout on the floor. 9:54 remaining. Progressed here in the West. Bradley over Texas El Paso. Louisville defeated Drexel to get to the second round. It was UAB over Missouri, North Carolina over Utah, and they will meet later today. And the two winners will then advance to Houston to take on each other. And we see the freshman Purvis Ellison has returned from the Louisville locker room. Their starting center. Don't know what happened to him, Lynn, but if he's not feeling well, that could be a serious blow for Louisville, although they are a deep team.
That they are, but you'd like to have him. He's really come on here at the end of the year, and he's such a factor with his height against the shorter Bradley team.
Big Mike Williams for the Braves. Bulls his way up for 2. Down on the floor is McSwain.
Coming out of timeout, you know they're always going to call a play, and this was a play to get it in there and go in deep And I respect the strategy of Bradley. Just take it to Louisville inside, even though they don't seem to have the taller players.
Wagner was the man who committed the foul for Louisville. Williams at the line will get a chance to make a three-point play with Bradley in front by 1. De La Salle High School in Chicago, Illinois.
He had 18 points in their win over UTEP on Thursday, even though he comes in with a 14-point per game average.
And 9 rebounds. He's a big, strong guy, 255-pounder. So it is 19-18, Bradley by 1. The Cardinals outside. They now have Kevin Walls in the game, number 15, the freshman from Camden, New Jersey. Yeah, we want to remind some of our viewers that they will be leaving us in a few minutes to see another game of special interest in their local areas. You'll be kept up to date on the progress of this game with scoring reports and highlights. Williams underneath, picked up the loose ball and sends Bradley back in front, 21-18. A three-point margin. And here comes Purvis Ellison in. The word on the rookie that he was just winded. And he looks like he's healthy and ready to go.
Well, we're playing at 4,300 feet in elevation at the Purple Palace, the D Event Center. Billy Thompson is going to come out for a rest. That was a break for Louisville. The official called timeout to fix his whistle, and that gave the opportunity for them to buzz Ellison into the game.
Well, those of you who are waiting for games of special interest in your local areas, we'll be taking you there now. Louisville underneath. This is McSwain. Mark McSwain, the junior from Atlanta. 21-20, Bradley by 1. Les now getting a little pressing action from Walls at the midcourt line.
Louisville has increased their ball handling ability. As a result, getting a lot more shots. Les kind of forced one.
Ellison rebounds for Louisville. Wagner brings it up.
Louisville has made half of their 20 shots. Bradley's only attempted 16.
And that is Tony Kimbrough. 22-21, Louisville back in front by a point. The Cardinals, number 2 seed in the West region, 27-7 on the year. Little trap on Hawkins and a foul on the play. And Kimbrough is the man who is awarded the foul. Tony Kimbrough from Louisville, a freshman.
Louisville has 3 freshmen in the game right now. The reason they can do that is they've played such a great schedule this year that these players are ready for NCAA tournament competition, even though they're just in the second round of the West region. Kimbrough, Walls, and Ellison.
McSwain hits for the Cardinals, and they were rated as having the second toughest schedule overall behind Maryland by the NCAA, and the first toughest non-conference schedule. So they've earned their way to their 27-7 record in the number 2 seed in the West.
Well, Denny Crum's got a little longer and stronger bench, and he's been using it, and I'm wondering if maybe some of the Bradley players aren't getting a little bit tired at this stage themselves.
Bradley now has Jerry Thomas in the game, number 21. Louisville comes up with a turnover.
Yeah, and Milt Wagner just caught, I want to say, a dead spot on the floor, but I don't know if there are any. It's such a fine floor.
Called for traveling. Trimpe will inbounds to Jim Les. We have 7:14 remaining first half. Louisville by 3. Bradley in possession. Thomas for Trimpe underneath to the big man Williams. He's all tied up by Ellison. Here's Trimpe. He's got it. Trevor Trimpe, the sophomore from Havana, Illinois. Louisville by 1.
Bradley again sticking with that zone defense. They look inside, very patient. They got big guys basically at the double low post.
Bill Wagner.
It's going to go against Bradley. They were out of position that time. That's one thing that they have to do today is be in position on the defensive boards. Otherwise, Louisville will just start rebounding, and they're in trouble when they do that.
Jerry Thomas, who had 11 against Texas El Paso, picked up the foul. Crook back into the game for Louisville. He is number 41, the sophomore forward from Louisville. Hall in possession. Underneath from McSwain, off for Crook, and he's got it. 26-23, Louisville.
Good passing, quick passes, and good outside shooting like we just saw there will always beat a good zone defense.
Denny Crum said in the press conference the other day, you don't want to have to shoot outside for 40 minutes, and they've got a good inside game. That's what they'd like to be. Thomas bats it out of bounds, and it'll be Louisville ball. In for Bradley, Donald Powell back into the game, number 24, and Williams will get a rest. Big center, number 3. So we have Powell, Hawkins, Les, Trimpe, and number 21, Jerry Thomas on the floor for Bradley. This is McSwain, tied up in the lane and fouled by Trimpe. That is the 4th team foul on Bradley. Louisville has 5. Second personal on Trimpe.
It's apparent that Louisville's strategy is to make that first key pass into the middle against the zone defense and then just shuffle it off to someone a little more accurately than that as a rule.
It'll be Bradley ball and make it Bradley with 5 team fouls on the personal to Trimpe. Each team with 5 team fouls. We have 5:50 remaining first half.
Look for Bradley not to crack, though. They had a 22-game winning streak this year. Anytime you won 22 in a row, you learn how to handle pressure. It's always on your mind, so even if they get behind, they'll come back strong.
Percy Hawkins at 21 against Texas El Paso. And he's got 10 points here in the first half for Bradley. Crook from the baseline. Herbert Crook.
They're getting excellent shots, Louisville. Their field goal percentage is up to 54%.
McSwain with a great block on Thomas. Les had lofted a perfect pass down there. Good reaction by McSwain.
That's one of the advantages of playing man-to-man defense. I guess everybody comes back and picks up their men quickly, but then on this play, they had to come and help out.
Wagner, McSwain, Crook, Ellison, and Hall is in on the floor for Louisville as Bradley closes to within 1. 5:03 remaining first half.
Little Jim Les had 22 points in their game in their win over UTEP, and if he can hit that shot, he certainly should be taking it.
Wagner missed everything, but Crook is there. Herbert Crook underneath.
Well, Louisville's not only getting pretty good shots, but they've also taken over control of the boards. I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of people were skeptical of Bradley is, can they rebound with some of the great teams in the country? And they're not doing it right now.
Cardinals come up with that one. Crook with 6 points, and Louisville with the ball. Jeff Hall. Rebound by Hawkins. Trimpe from Les. Won't throw, won't go for him. Hawkins on the rebound, stolen by Louisville.
3-on-2.
Hall feeding Crook. He misses, and Bradley rebounds.
That was a tired-looking fast break. I think we've had a sequence here. We haven't had many fouls. Very few players fouled in the act of shooting, and the ball hasn't stopped much, and I think we got some tongues hanging out at this stage, at this altitude.
It's been a quick half. You're absolutely right, Lynn. We're down to 3:50 remaining. Les from the top of the key. And a scramble as they all fall into the Louisville bench area there. 2 Bradley players and 1 Cardinal. Donald Powell took the worst of it to make it Jerry Thomas, number 21.
He tried to make a great save, and then he got a little bit pushed there from Hall.
So a timeout on the floor with 3:44 to play first half. And Louisville. Name and his brother lost in the Vietnam War, and about 3 years ago the MIA organization gave that bracelet to Dick, and he says he's never taken it off since. A very interesting man, and now very close with the MIA organization, as his brother never found over in Vietnam. Underneath the Cardinals, and Williams going up on the block, number 3, the big man for Bradley, but the foul will be against Donald Powell, number 24.
An interesting change. Bradley that time went to the man-to-man defense. Dick Versace feels his team can play man-to-man well, but they prefer to stay in zone as long as they can.
Herbert Crook on the line for the Cardinals.
Crook, one of the starters, which we've mentioned, all average in double figures, all shoot more than 50% from the floor.
Louisville by 4, 31-27, with 3:28 remaining first half. So the Cardinals, many expecting them to move easily to the Final Four, have their hands full with Bradley.
I think they need to look to Hawkins a little more, the man with the ball. He's 5 for 8 in shooting.
Howell lost control of the ball underneath, and Louisville comes up with a freebie. Hall brings it down the floor. Thompson underneath. Crook in traffic. Rebounded by Bradley's Williams, and Les will bring it up again. Williams, Trippy, Hawkins, Howell, and Les on the floor for the Braves of Bradley from Peoria, Illinois. Off the front iron, Les has not been shooting too well in this first half, and here's a break for Ellison, and he missed the layup.
I don't believe that.
Kind of a semi-dunk shot by the freshman, and he missed it. Break for the Braves. Hawkins in the corner for Bradley.
And I think Ellison's going to come out of there.
Looked like he couldn't make up his mind whether to dunk it or just lay it in safely. Wound up kind of halfway. Missed it entirely. So with a 4-point margin, a break, and the vote dropped for Hawkins, and Ellison rebounds, so he makes up. And Hall brings it up court. Cardinals had 2 on nobody, and Ellison missed his layup/dunk try. Purvis from underneath, he's got that. Purvis, Ellison.
Purvis Ellison was holding his stomach a little bit. I'm not sure he's still recovered from this altitude going up and down. Repeat again, I think we've really had a hectic first half, and that the players haven't had too many opportunities to catch their breath.
6 points for Ellison underneath Powell, and on the tight coverage there was Billy Thompson, and he picks up the fouls.
This was just an obvious 2 points here. I think everyone in the building had figured it was easy, and Ellison just looked slow or whatever, like lacking strength in his jumping, and as he came back down the court one time, looked like he wasn't quite ready. Wasn't feeling well.
So on the line is Powell for Bradley, and he misses. Ellison getting a rest here. Denny Crum takes him out, and now has Crook, Thompson, Hall, McSwain, and Kimbrough in the game.
Ellison's about 6'9". Tim, he's a freshman. He's just a growing lad. He's still gaining his strength, perhaps.
Bradley having some problems at the line, but to get the ball back here. Williams in traffic. He's got it. Mike Williams, a senior from Chicago. 9 points in this first half for Williams. 1:15 remaining.
Back to the zone defense is Bradley.
Kimbrough with a jumper.
Oh,
beautiful.
He is getting better and better as the season progresses. Looks like he can play any position on a basketball court.
A freshman from Louisville.
And what they like about Kimbrough is he's got the responsibility of guarding Hawkins. He's a good defensive player.
Kimbrough's 3 for 3 from the field for 6 points. And with 53 seconds remaining in this half, we remind you coming up at the half, we'll go to New York, Brent Musburger with scores and highlights and a special feature on the Illini. Les from the top of the key, and now forced out by Hall. 43 seconds remaining, 23 on the shot clock. Percy Hawkins. Trimpy, as we see on the left, the shot clock ticking down. Les tried to fire it underneath there to Jerry Thomas. Good defensive reaction by the Cardinals.
That doesn't change the shot clock, as you can see, though.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Bradley Bradley trying to close to within 4 for the half, and that's going to be short. Williams on the follow. Williams again. What a great effort. Taking it away from McSwain, and it's down to 4 with Louisville in front. Seconds. See if Louisville can push it back to 6. Alley-oop and broken up by Hawkins as the buzzer sounds. From Weber State College in Ogden, Utah, the second round game in the West region has Louisville in front, 35-31. Louisville in white, defending to our right. And it is Bradley ball to begin this second half of play with the Cardinals in front by 4. Hawkins, Williams, Trimpe, Powell, and Jim Les, the starters for Bradley with the ball.
Les was 1 for 5 from the floor in the first half. He's got to do a little better.
Powell, that won't drop. Rebounded by Crook for Louisville. Good pass up, 3-on-1. Wagner to Hall, he's got it.
He drew Les to him. He waited till the last split second to throw it off. Louisville will play a man-to-man defense, as I mentioned, most of the time. That's a throwback to Denny Crum when he played and coached under John Wooden, who also preferred man-to-man 95% of the time. They are trying to double-team Hawkins, and when they do that, then they are going to give up some easy baskets like that.
Well, that was an easy one for Donald Powell, the sophomore forward from Nowata, Oklahoma. And it's back to 4, 37-33. The Cardinals with Thompson, Ellison, Hall, Crook, and Wagner. Same 5 that started the first half. Underneath, that's Herbert Crook, and he's fouled in the lane.
Billy Thompson gives you a little extra dimension out there. Not only is he a threat to score, but he can handle the ball and pass very well for a man his size. And Dick Versace, he's had that halftime now to make some adjustments. Interesting to see how they can respond here in the second half.
Crook makes the first of 2. 38-33. Williams picked up his first personal foul.
One comment, Tim, on the officiating. No one really is in foul trouble. We had very few calls. And I can remember when I played at UCLA, Coach Wooden used to tell us, I don't want anyone saying anything to the officials tonight, because in the NCAA tournament, you get the very best officials in the country. And we've got one of the very best, and Hank Nichols, he's officiated 5 championship games. He's here today.
39-35, Louisville. And joining Nichols on the floor, John Clardy and Tom O'Neill. I think they signed a couple of Irishmen since St. Patrick's Day is Monday. Or maybe because I'm here, as our director Bob Fishman suggests.
Undoubtedly.
Underneath for Powell, and he keeps it inbounds to Williams. Les will set it up for Bradley. Hawkins. Hersey, Hawkins.
Now, Milt Wagner's on him, and he knows he's supposed to be on him, but it's hard when the ball's on the other side of the court. If you don't stay on him, though, Hawkins will burn you.
Hawkins' first basket of this second half. He's got 12 points on the day. That brings the Bradley fans alive. But Hall will silence them and get the Cardinal fans happy. Jeff Hall, the senior guard from Ashland.
Louisville's in good shape as long as they can keep shooting like that.
Georgia Tech leading 20-18, and DePaul over Oklahoma at this stage of their game. Here's Hall again underneath, and won't drop it. He's fouled en route to the hoop. I believe Hawkins, there were 2 red-shirted Braves there.
Hall made a nice move here. I was a little surprised he did not make that shot. He wanted goaltending, but it was not.
No, and it looked to me like it was actually Les who made the contact and not Hawkins, but Hawkins got the call, his second personal foul. And Jeff Hall misses the first of 2. 41-37 Louisville.
That's a surprise. He comes into the game 60 of 67 for the year. So he'll drop from 89 down to about 6% probably.
Trevor Trimpe for Les from the corner, and Les just has not been able to hit from outside. Les against UTEP the other night, 22 points. many of them from the foul line, but hasn't found his shooting touch in this game so far. In the first half, he had just 3 points.
Yeah, he's 2 for 6 now. 5 points in the contest. Almost traveling on Wagner.
Oh, good follow by Thompson. Number 55, the 6'7" senior from Camden, New Jersey. Timeout on the floor with Versace calling for a traveling call he didn't get. Louisville, 44-37.
25-year-old graduate of Wharton School of Business.
And in his first year as an assistant at Bradley, he was with an accounting firm in Philadelphia. And Dick Versace gave him the chance to come back into coaching. He'd been a part-time assistant in Fairfield. Let's see this play again.
Foul away from the ball. Billy Thompson holding. That's 15 yards, isn't it?
Back live. Louisville by 7. Bradley with the ball. Les out to Trimpe. Trevor Trimpe. Hawkins and Powell.
Bradley could dig a real hole here if they get too far behind. I don't think they could come out of it.
Hawkins missing from the lane. Keeps the ball alive, and Les alertly there to grab it.
Good point. Les knew to go to the ball so that Hawkins would have someone to throw to.
Hawkins, he's got room.
He's smooth on that jump shot. Very calm when he's in the air shooting it.
44-39. Wagner down court for Louisville. Thompson to Hall. Hall with the jumper. Bradley on the rebound. Trimpe. Les to Hawkins underneath, and he misses the layup. Crook on the rebound for the Cardinals.
That puts him right back in the game if he makes it. If Louisville can score here, it's got to be real discouraging to Bradley.
Jeff Hall to Wagner. Ellison pushed from behind by Williams. Williams' second personal foul. Cardinal ball. 3 team fouls on Bradley this half, 1 on Louisville. Wagner.
Milt Wagner, what a great player. 3rd leading scorer in Louisville history behind a couple great ones, Darrell Griffith and Derek Smith.
Wagner with just 4 points in the first half. He had missed 5 straight before hitting that one. Maybe he's finding his range.
Yeah, and he's also had to work hard at the other end of the court guarding Hersey Hawkins. That's a full day's pay right there.
Les underneath. Big man Williams. Turn around. Won't go. Followed by Powell. Donald Powell, a sophomore. 7 points for him. 46-41. And Wagner gets it right back for the Cardinals. Milt Wagner finds his range 2 in a row. 48-41. Wagner's the kind of guy who says, give me the ball when the heat's on. Twice during the year, he scored free throws to win games in the final seconds, and then poured in 31 points in the conference championship game of the tournament against Memphis State.
Bradley is 7 points behind at this stage. The best way to get back in this game for them is they've got to turn up their defense a little.
Williams trying to stuff it, pushed from behind by Thompson. Ball went into row 38, I think.
Yeah, no call, though. Bradley has got to really come on defensively. As we look at this, a nice move. I thought maybe he was fortunate he didn't get a technical foul because he grabbed the rim there. But Louisville's problem, if they have one as a team, and I know they've won 12 in a row, is sometimes they create or make turnovers. Maybe Bradley has to create a few of those turnovers, force them on defense. Otherwise, Louisville just keeps getting good shots, scoring pretty much at will.
Milt Wagner, and that one won't drop for him. Rebounded by Thompson, but a foul on the play.
I think it's going to be on the rebounder, Thompson.
McSwain comes in for Louisville. Jerry Thomas checked in for Donald Powell of the Bradley Braves, and now McSwain comes in. Thompson picks up his 3rd foul, and that brought McSwain into the game. So Bradley trailing 48-41, brings it up court. 13 minutes remaining, second half. 13-20 to be exact.
Good screen away from the ball. Hawkins got free.
Beautiful follow by Jerry Thomas. Well, Hawkins may have missed off that nice screen, but Powell alertly there. 48-43, 5-point lead for Louisville. Purvis Ellison. Nice move by the freshman underneath. And he was fouled on the play.
Really some brilliant interior passing by Louisville in this game. And Ellison is just too agile and too good to miss that shot, even though there was a foul. That could be a big foul in the event we go much farther down the road. Williams is going to have to start laying off a little bit or play different defensively.
Ellison with 8 points in the game, misses the free throws. 50-43 Cardinals. Les sets it up for Bradley. Trimpe. Les from outside, and he gets one. A little cool in the first half.
He's got excellent little rotation on that shot when he shoots it. Good follow through.
And updating that Georgia Tech game over Villanova, 30-22 in the first half of play. And DePaul leading Oklahoma by 10 in the first half.
If DePaul could go on and win that game, they would then face Duke.
DePaul had an upset victory over Virginia. They were seeded 12th in the East and upset Virginia, seeded number 5. And right now leading Oklahoma.
Dick Versace has got to be a little bit concerned. That is the 5th team foul on his Bradley Braves. So a couple away from getting into the bonus and sending Louisville the line. While on the other hand, Louisville has only 2 fouls. So some of the Bradley players getting up there in foul trouble.
Third personal on Trimpe as we see McSwain at the line. He had 4 points off the bench in the first half. Missing that one, 51-45. 6-point margin for Louisville. 12-13 to play. Second half, Tim Ryan and Lynn Shackelford. Live from the Weber State campus in Ogden, Utah. Williams underneath and converged on. What a collision underneath. Ellison and McSwain.
When you're always taught when you get the ball with your back to the basket, you have to make a quick move. Even though this is slow-mo, you talk about quick. Williams didn't waste any time. He knew what he was going to do even before he got the ball.
The ball didn't drop for him, but he'll go to the line shooting 2. Second foul for Purvis Ellison, the outstanding freshman. Williams is 1 for 3 from the free throw line, and he gets that one. These teams have not had much free throw shooting practice in the first half. We just didn't have many opportunities at the line in a free-flowing, fastly paced first half of play.
It may be a little early in the game, but Bradley to come back and get back in here, and they're only down by 4. I think needs to shake up their defense a little bit. They're just playing this zone.
Kimbrough for Ellison. He's got it.
And it's really creating no problems at all for Louisville. Very good execution on offense.
Kimbrough and McSwain, the 2 players off the bench in the first half, in there now for Louisville. They've got great depth. They've got great height. This is a team that many expect to see in the Final Four. Bradley with other ideas. In the corner, that is Trimpe. Kimbrough knocked it away, but Hawkins has it. And Hawkins out the glass. Hersey Hawkins. He's their best athlete, no question.
Well, he's got 16 points. He's made half of his 16 shots, and he's actually missed a couple layups.
Leading scorer all season long for Bradley. Second in rebounds. 16 points, as Lynn mentioned, in this game.
And he's already got 6 rebounds this afternoon.
Louisville in control. That's Kimbrough underneath. Williams with a rebound. Les from the foul line. He's got it. 53-51. The margin to 2.
Denny Crum's doing a smart thing, I think. He's getting Billy Thompson back in the game. In fact, he's going to take a timeout, and one of the reasons is just to make sure Thompson gets in there right now.
10:36 to play, second half.
Many years ago, I got the opportunity to play under John Wooden, and also at at UCLA, and assistant coach was that man right there, Denny Crum. And he has a lot of similarities to John Wooden. And one of them, look at that rolled-up program. John Wooden always had a rolled-up program with him on the bench, and so does Denny Crum now as the head coach at Louisville.
Does he ever read it?
No, probably nothing in it.
All right, we're back underway here in the rebound by Bradley. Chance to tie. Les will set it up. He can handle the ball. Dick Versace, perhaps a bit of an overstatement, says Les handles the ball better than anybody Versace has ever seen, with the exception of Isaiah Thomas. Williams underneath from Trimpe, and we're tied at 53.
Williams is starting to really kind of take over control of the middle. It's almost as if Ellison is saying, I don't like this altitude, and I don't want to be physical in there.
15 points for Williams. Turn around by Ellison. Louisville back in front.
That's why they call him
Never Nervous.
Never Nervous Purvis. He doesn't look too excited, does he?
He sure doesn't. Here's this kid. He's a freshman, and he looks like he's been playing in the NBA for a few years. But if you just look at the picture on his face, he doesn't give you any emotion at all. Bradley with the ball. Underneath, Hawkins from Trimpe has made 2 consecutive good feeds underneath the basket.
Percy Hawkins, a great player without the ball. That time he lost an awfully good one, Milt Wagner.
Wagner, McSwain. Hawkins, that won't drop. Hawkins can shoot from that range along the baseline, though. Bradley the other way. Les with the ball. Waiting now for Williams to get up court. Williams just got over the timeline. Williams came down the court a little bit more slowly. He's showing some effects of the pace and the altitude. Trimpe,
they've opened up the middle of this man-to-man Louisville defense. They've really done a good job of that, and that's a little bit unusual. Following a timeout by Louisville.
Players in serious foul trouble at this stage of the game.
To me, this is a little sign of inexperience on Dick Versace's part. He's trying to work the officials. Denny Crum knows better. At this stage of the NCAA tournament, you get such quality officials, it's pointless. You're just wasting your time.
Les, it's blocked by Wagner. Thompson to Wagner. And Les fouls him en route to the basket. Good effort by Milt Wagner. Blocking the shot by Les, and then drawing the foul at the other end.
The only thing Les could have done was maybe foul him a little sooner. He might have avoided the free throws. I might have got an intentional foul had he done it sooner, but he was obviously making sure he didn't score the basket. Jim Les, he was a ball boy in '75 when his older brother Tom played at Bradley, and Bradley did not recruit him. And Les started his college career at Cleveland State, and then he transferred to play under Dick Versace.
Talk about Cleveland State upsetting Indiana and Bob Knight and company. So Les, I'm sure, are feeling pretty good about that. School he played at for a year. And now as we see the foul situation, there are 3 on Trimpe and 3 on Williams, 3 on Thompson for Louisville. And nothing real serious at this stage with 8:25 still to play.
Louisville has gone to a zone defense.
Trimpe to Thomas underneath. Gary Thomas, number 21.
They're tracking Wagner on Les and playing kind of a 4-man zone. They did this against Drexel also.
Mike Williams continues to be the force in the middle. Bradley's been outscoring them from the backcourt 27-15, and you would expect Louisville to have the edge inside. More big guys, but Williams has been carrying the load underneath for Bradley and been doing a great job. 7 for 12 from the field, 17 points for Mike Williams. Purvis Ellison, he likes to shoot from there, and he does it.
That's not as easy a shot as you would think. You don't have the advantage of using the backboard, and it's to his credit that he can make that. It's a zone defense, and you can see the man on the left, Wagner's tracking Les wherever he goes, so it's kind of a box and one in effect.
Ellison reaching in, picks up the foul against Williams.
And it's his 3rd personal, and he's still not nervous.
Well, we want to remind you that next week, one of our very special events on CBS Sports will feature the World Figure Skating Championships on CBS Sports Saturday. The women's in pairs on Saturday, the men's competition along with the ice dancing on Sunday. 59-57, Louisville by 2. Bradley ball.
At least for the moment, just because it's such a whole new look, it's thrown, I think, the Bradley team off a little bit here.
Trimpe, that won't drop. Good rebound, Williams, and he's blocked by Ellison, who does a good job, and Thompson comes away with it. Thompson quickly to Kimbrough, near steal, loose ball, Hawkins alone.
Real aggressive play in the backcourt. Louisville wanted a foul, and maybe they should have got it, but they did not.
We're tied at 59. Hersey Hawkins, 20 points for Bradley.
Now this is where Bradley would like to be, tied at this game, because now they can just play their zone defense. They don't like to leave the zone unless they absolutely have to.
Billy Thompson. 61 to 59 Louisville. This is the kind of game that we expected, Lynn. Bradley may have been underrated by a lot of the fans and the pollsters and so on, but certainly Denny Crum had a lot of regard for them. You have to give the advantage in the game going in and even now to the Cardinals over their season play and their tougher schedule and the fact that they've got that height and depth. But Bradley, quick, disciplined, under Dick Versace, they're a cool, calm group. And they are very much in this ball game, but a steal there, the turnover. And Milt Wagner driving has it. The big play, clutch player for the Cardinals. Versace doesn't like that one. 63 to 59, Louisville in front.
Have a lot of points, but he also has 7 rebounds, so he has really come on against this big, tall Louisville team.
And they trail by 4. Bradley with the ball.
It takes someone to look to, and he's really kind of taken over some leadership, as Jim Les is another guy, but Hawkins is doing more.
Hawkins missing there, and the rebound by Ellison, and Powell goes out of bounds, but it'll be Louisville ball. Louisville with the ball in the lead, 5:26 to play. Donald Powell's second personal foul, so pushing Ellison underneath.
And this will be a big difference the rest of the way. Bradley has gone over the limit, so Louisville will be in a 1-and-1 from now on. While on the other hand, Louisville has only 4 team fouls, so they got some to give. Denny Crum can relax just a little bit.
Purvis Ellison goes to the line with that 17 foul against Bradley and makes the point.
There's the Bradley bench. Of course, the winner of this game plays the winner of the North Carolina University of Alabama Birmingham game.
2 winners will meet in Houston next week. 65 to 59. Trimpe from Les. Tight coverage from McSwain. Good pass to Powell and a foul underneath. Kimbrough picks up the foul. Kimbrough. Tony Kimbrough, the freshman from Louisville. That is the 5th team foul against the Cardinals.
Kind of got a man-to-man on the players outside. Wagner on left. They're zoning inside, which means Hawkins can be open if he just keeps moving around against the zone. Les will not get a shot, probably.
Trimpe.
They'll let Bradley take that shot.
It'll be Bradley ball. McSwain picks up the foul for Louisville. That moves them to 16 fouls. One of those little things that happens in a game that can have some effect, because it could more quickly even up Louisville in the team fouls and have Bradley at the line with 1-on-1s. Lost by Hawkins. 2-on-2. Kimbrough for Wagner. And it looked like Hawkins got back there to break that up, but it will be Louisville ball. Turnover by Bradley hurts him there.
I think if I'm Louisville, I start looking a little more for Billy Thompson. He's only taken 7 shots, and he's made 5 of them. Thompson has kind of relegated himself almost to a passing role.
They've got their 2 benchmen on, Kimbrough and McSwain, on the floor right now for Louisville. They've been used effectively. Here's Kimbrough. Thompson after the rebound, and it'll be Bradley ball.
Well, Thompson did a good job of crashing the boards, and of course he's got to avoid fouls, although at this stage he can go all out. He's only got 3.
This is a key possession here for Bradley. 4:10 ticking down on the clock. Underneath Powell. Blocked by Ellison and fouled.
Bradley want goaltending, but they don't get it. See what they want to keep the ball out of the hands of Les because he's such a good passer. He knows how to get the ball to the players inside where they're either going to score or be fouled.
Fourth personal on Purvis Ellison. So now that becomes a factor in this game with 4 minutes, 2 seconds remaining. Powell in and out. 58% free throw shooter.
Yeah, Bradley comes in as a 66% team from the line. That's not overwhelming.
He gets one. 5-point margin, Louisville. Wagner sets up the traffic pattern, and now Thompson with his signal, standing right in front of Denny Crum. Thompson and Kimbrough working the backcourt. Wagner nailed it.
Yeah, what an advantage to have the experience in NCAA and the tough schedule they played for a man like that to be taking that shot at that stage of the game.
Percy Hawkins. Rebound Powell, knocked away by the Cardinals. They come up with it. Good feed to Kimbrough. Fouled by Les. The ball did not drop. Les got a pretty good smack on him.
What a big turnaround. Wagner hitting the corner shot, Hawkins coming down and missing his, and then Louisville getting a fast break opportunity, almost a three-point play.
2:44
Just, you got to give a lot of credit at this stage to Denny Crum. The defense that he's employed here in the last few minutes, they've, I think, thrown Bradley off on their offense somewhat by changing their defense for the first time in the game. And then just sticking with their plan of going inside for the good inside shot. Every now and then Wagner hitting it. The Bradley players wondering if this is their last game.
2 clutch baskets for Kimbrough. The freshman from Louisville opens a 9-point margin now with 3:08 remaining. Les, he hits from outside, back to 7. 11 points for Les. Not much of a factor scoring in the first half. The floor leader of the Braves has had an outstanding year. MVP in their Missouri Valley Conference tournament.
There's a break for Bradley. We're going to get a foul going the other way on Louisville. A blocking foul. Thompson trying to set the screen to free Wagner, was called for blocking, moving. Fourth personal. If Bradley could get to an overtime, they might have an advantage with this foul situation. But they got a long way to go. Down 7.
4 on Ellison, 4 on Thompson for Louisville. Trimpey, Williams, and Les with 3 each. Les at the line. Well, he won't miss too many of those, but that's a critical miss for Les. 76% shooter from the free throw line. Louisville with possession. And another foul away from the ball. It's going to be on Jerry Thomas of Bradley.
Number 21, Jerry Thomas.
Jeff Hall comes back in for Louisville. McSwain goes out, but McSwain and Kimbrough, as they have all season long, have been doing the job off the bench for the Cardinals.
55.
Billy Thompson at the line. 1-1.
First free throws of the afternoon for Thompson. Comes in as a 72%er.
(71-62).
I think if you're Louisville, you got to start thinking about running some time off the clock.
This is Jeff Hall. Thompson. Foul on Les. Trying to make something happen out there. Come up with a steal. 2:11 to go. And the Cardinals in command. And Les picks up his fourth personal, trying to come up with a steal and start Bradley the other way. Unless some concern now on the part of Coach Dick Versace. His team coming in with losses only to Clemson and Tulsa into this game. Tulsa in the tournament final of the Missouri Valley Conference.
And with that, Louisville is now 14 for 19 from the free throw line.
Wagner gets a pair. 73 to 62.
Number 50. Anthony Manuel.
A rare substitution for Bradley as they bring in Anthony Manuel.
Trimpe bounced pass to Williams, didn't arrive. Wagner tips it ahead for Thompson, and it's Jeff Hall as the Cardinals widen the gap with 1:50 to go. Louisville 75 to 62. Hawkins, that won't go after his own rebound, and it went off his foot out of bounds. It'll be Thomas coming into the game for Bradley. Jerry Thomas, number 21, as Trimpe comes out.
Bradley has to put on full court pressure, and they do, but it's not going to bother Louisville. They can once again run off the clock. Expertly coached game by Denny Crum, as usual, I guess you could say. He had a game plan. He wanted to get shots inside. They had no trouble all through the game getting shots inside. They stayed with that. They cut down on their turnovers. Louisville's had only 2 turnovers in the second half.
And off these last few minutes, the Cardinals have a 16-3 point advantage. They've outscored the Bradley Braves 16-3 and just literally taken the game away. Thompson at the line. The Braves were playing them tough well into the second half. But now the Braves perhaps sensing that their season of destiny is just about over.
Bradley will finish with an excellent record of 32-3, but they had to face a very quality team, and I think definitely the best team won this game. Louisville is so good. They will have now won 13 in a row, 17 of their last 18.
Last foul as he lets it fly. Lost his balance and wound up backpedaling all the way into his own zones. Les will go to the line.
And a strike for Bradley, number 15, Jim Les.
77 to 62 with Jim Les at the line. The senior from Niles, Illinois, will be closing out a terrific career with Bradley after transferring from Cleveland State. 5'11", 175-pound guard. MVP in their conference tournament, and the floor leader.
Yeah, the Louisville players, they're already making their plans for Houston.
They'll meet the winner of North Carolina and Alabama Birmingham. That's the next game here from Ogden, Utah this afternoon. Cardinals set it up, leading 77 to 64. As we approach the minute to go mark. Hall drives down the lane and hits. Won't go for Thomas, and fouling on the rebound.
Yeah, good time to do it. Yeah, good time to foul out, Tim, because now you get to go out and you get the round of applause.
Get the camera on you.
Oh, maybe a song girl will hug you or something.
Has he learned all of that in his freshman year? All these little tricks?
Oh, no, you learned that back in high school.
All right, Purvis Ellison. 16 points on the day for this outstanding freshman from Savannah, Georgia, averaging 12.6 points coming into the game. And into the ball game is Robbie Valentine. 00, his number, 6'6", 200-pounder from Radcliffe, Kentucky. He's a senior.
Ellison's going to go in for the day. 7 of 10 from the floor for Ellison, as Louisville has shot 64% from the field in the second half.
Sophomore guard Mike Abram checks in. He's from Muncie, Indiana. And Tony Kimbrough did a fine job, along with Mark McSwain being the primary bench pair for Denny Crum today. Jerry Thomas at the line for Bradley. Louisville rebounding, a 2-on-1. Hall dishing off to Robinson, and he gets the bucket. Valentine, pardon me. Robbie Valentine for the Cardinals. And Les back the other way, hits for Bradley. 35 seconds to play, 81-66. And are the Cardinals bound for the Final Four? Many think they are. The number 2 seed in the West. An impressive victory over a very tough and accomplished Bradley team here this afternoon. Les throws it up and misses. Thompson rebounding.
Look at him handle the ball.
Whoa! Well, he stuffed the basket, but not the ball in it.
Look at this man handle the ball from Camden, New Jersey. He's really starting to come into his own. He wanted it all. He just left a little too far away from the basket. Well, a lot of the experts are going to say after this game that unless you've got a Larry Bird, when you come out of the Missouri Valley Conference, if you're going to play with the Louisvilles, you're going to be in trouble. And I suppose you might say some of those experts are correct. Bradley is good, but not as good as Louisville.
Thomas leaves the floor. Kenny Payne, a freshman from Laurel, Mississippi, takes his place out there for these final seconds with 10 seconds left. And Denny Crum will get as many of his youngsters into the game here as he can. Chris West, a junior from Louisville, checks in, number 23.
Very happy. Denny Crum has gone to the Final Four 5 times in his 15 years at Louisville. Look at that. He congratulates everyone on the team. He's a great guy to play for. He was an assistant when I was at UCLA my last year there, and the players really enjoyed having him on the bench next to Coach Wooden. He was brilliant, by the way, during timeouts and in game strategy.
Valentine missing from the line on his first drive. It gets the second one to make it 82-66. And this will be the last play for the Bradley Braves. And bringing it down court is Anthony Manuel. Going the distance, gets the basket, and he'll get a chance at a three-pointer. A freshman guard from Chicago, number 50, Anthony Manuel for Bradley. Well, Dick Versace's dream ends here at the hands of Louisville, but for Versace, an outstanding year. 32-3, said, I want to play against those TV teams. And he said, I'm ready to play them. My guys are ready. Well, they played them tough into the second half, but the deeper, stronger Louisville Cardinals prevail.
Nice gesture. The Bradley fans all get on their feet and applaud their team for their outstanding year. 32-3. What a record.
Valentine lets it fly as the buzzer sounds. And the Cardinals of Louisville advance to the next round to meet the winner of UAB and North Carolina, who will be playing here later today in Ogden, Utah.